Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel, Gajpal A Learning. In this video we are going to study about the part of nervous system, that is peripheral nervous system. So let's start. Peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system is a division of the nervous system that extends outside the brain and spinal cord, connecting them to various parts of the body. It serves as a communication network, relaying information between the central nervous system and the rest of the body. The PNS consists of two main components, the somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. First, somatic nervous system, SNS. The somatic nervous system controls voluntary movements and receives sensory information from the external environment. It includes sensory neurons, motor neurons, and associated structures such as nerves and ganglia. Sensory neurons transmit signals from sensory organs, such as the eyes, ears, and skin, to the CNS, while motor neurons carry signals from the CNS to the skeletal muscles, enabling conscious movements. Second, autonomic nervous system, ANS. The autonomic nervous system regulates involuntary processes and maintains homeostasis in the body. It controls functions like heart rate, blood pressure, digestion, and respiratory rate. The ANS is further divided into two branches, the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. A. Sympathetic nervous system, SNS. The sympathetic nervous system prepares the body for emergency or stress responses, often referred to as the fight-or-flight response. It increases heart rate, dilates the pupils, and diverts blood flow to the muscles to enhance physical performance. B. Parasympathetic nervous system, PNS. The parasympathetic nervous system helps the body relax and recover, often called the rest and digest response. It slows down heart rate, constricts pupils, and promotes digestion and energy conservation. Both the SNS and ANS work together to ensure the body functions properly and respond appropriately to internal and external stimuli. The PNS is composed of peripheral nerves, which consist of bundles of nerve fibers, axons, that carry electrical signals between the CNS and various body parts. These peripheral nerves include cranial nerves, which originate from the brain, and spinal nerves, which arise from the spinal cord. Overall, the peripheral nervous system plays a vital role in connecting the central nervous system to the rest of the body, allowing for sensory perception, voluntary movement, and the regulation of essential bodily functions. Here is the brief diagram for sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Now next is structure and function of sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems are two branches of the autonomic nervous system, ANS, that work together to regulate involuntary bodily functions. While they have distinct roles, they often have opposing effects on various organs and tissues. Let's explore the structure and functions of each system. Structure of sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system originates from the thoracic and lumbar regions of the spinal cord. It consists of a chain of ganglia located alongside the spinal column, which are interconnected by nerve fibers. Function. The SNS is responsible for preparing the body for stressful or emergency situations. It triggers the fight-or-flight response, promoting increased alertness, energy mobilization, and heightened physical activity. Key functions include: first, increased heart rate and blood pressure. Sympathetic activation stimulates the heart to beat faster and stronger, leading to increased blood flow to the muscles and vital organs. Second, dilation of bronchioles. The air passages in the lungs widen, allowing for increased oxygen intake. Third, pupil dilation. The pupils expand to enhance vision in preparation for potential threats. Fourth, inhibition of digestion. Sympathetic activity reduces digestive functions, diverting blood flow away from the gastrointestinal tract. Fifth, release of stress hormones. The SNS triggers the adrenal glands to release adrenaline and noradrenaline, which further increase physiological arousal. Next, structure parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system arises from the cranial nerves and the sacral region of the spinal cord. It includes long preganglionic fibers that extend from the CNS and short postganglionic fibers located near or within target organs. Function. The PNS promotes relaxation, rest, and recovery. It counterbalances the sympathetic response and initiates the rest and digest state. Key functions include: first, slowing heart rate and lowering blood pressure. Parasympathetic stimulation reduces heart rate and helps normalize blood pressure. Second, constriction of bronchioles. The air passages narrow, regulating airflow and conserving energy. Third, pupil constriction. The pupils constrict to focus on nearby objects and optimize vision for close-up tasks. Fourth, stimulation of digestion. Parasympathetic activity enhances digestive processes, promoting the secretion of enzymes and increasing blood flow to the gastrointestinal tract. Fifth, conservation and storage of energy. The PNS facilitates energy conservation and storage by promoting processes like glycogen synthesis and promoting relaxation. Last is origin and functions of spinal and cranial nerve. Spinal nerves and cranial nerves are two types of peripheral nerves that originate from different regions of the central nervous system, CNS, and serve distinct functions. Here's an overview of their origins and functions. First, spinal nerves. Origin. Spinal nerves are mixed nerves that originate from the spinal cord. There are a total of 31 pairs of spinal nerves in the human body, with each pair emerging from specific segments of the spinal cord. These segments are categorized into 5 regions: cervical, C1-C8, thoracic, T1-T12, lumbar, L1-L5, sacral, S1-S5, and coccygeal, company 1. Each spinal nerve is formed by the fusion of a ventral root, containing motor fibers, and a dorsal root, containing sensory fibers, as they exit the spinal cord through intervertebral foramina. Functions. Spinal nerves are responsible for relaying both sensory and motor information between the spinal cord and various regions of the body. They carry sensory signals from the peripheral tissues, such as skin, muscles, and organs, to the spinal cord, via dorsal roots, for processing and integration. At the same time, they transmit motor commands from the spinal cord, via ventral roots, to muscles and glands, enabling voluntary movement and autonomic functions. Second, cranial nerves. Origin. Cranial nerves are a set of 12 pairs of nerves that originate from the brain, specifically the brainstem. Each cranial nerve is designated by a Roman numeral and a name based on its location and function. The cranial nerves emerge from specific regions of the brainstem, including the midbrain, pons, and medulla oblongata. Some cranial nerves have sensory, motor, or both types of fibers, and they may have different origins along the brainstem. Functions. Cranial nerves have various functions, including sensory, motor, and parasympathetic innervation of different structures in the head, face, and neck regions. Their functions can be summarized as follows. First, sensory. Some cranial nerves carry sensory information from sensory organs, such as the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin of the face, to the brain for perception and interpretation. Second, motor. Certain cranial nerves primarily innervate motor fibers, controlling the movement of muscles in the head, face, and neck. They enable functions like eye movement, facial expression, chewing, swallowing, and speaking. Third, parasympathetic. Several cranial nerves contain parasympathetic fibers that regulate involuntary functions, including pupil constriction, salivation, tear production, and visceral activities of organs in the thoracic and abdominal cavities. At last we can say that each cranial nerve has its own specific set of functions, and they work collectively to ensure the proper functioning of sensory and motor activities, as well as autonomic control, in the head and neck regions. Thanks for watching this video. In the next video we will start the new subject, pharmaceutics, and we will also bring some practice questions of all the topics of human anatomy and physiology. Thank you.